Welcome to ID5's myth-busting video series. Today we're going to talk about cookieless solutions, alternatives to third-party cookies, and we're going to talk in particular about clean rooms and identifier. And there is a preconceived idea in the market that those two solutions kind of serve the same purpose and kind of really work together. So clean rooms and alternative identifiers, friends or foe? To address this question, I've got Vlad Stesin with me, the co-founder and chief strategy officer of Optable. Vlad, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So let's start first with a definition of what clean rooms are, or data collaboration platforms, right? I think it's more the Optable definition. So what exactly do you do as a data collaboration platform?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually even more complicated than that. So
Okay.
we describe ourselves today as a data management, data collaboration, and even data activation platform.
Okay.
So data collaboration is kind of a level on top of data clean rooms, but of course, in today's age, what we do is actually much more than that. So, the first idea, the first thesis for the business was that more parties than ever before will actually have to collect data. They will have to collect consent, and as a result, they'll need collaboration solutions, and that is true. But what we've assumed is that it would be easy to actually collect data and manage it and create audiences, but that was not easy before we actually came up with our product. So that became part of what we do today as well.
Okay, so let's take a concrete example. You're a publisher, you're a brand. How do you use Optable's data collaboration platform, data management, data activation capabilities, right? What do you do with it? How does take us through a workflow?
Yeah. So when we take a publisher, so what a publisher does with Optable today is they essentially build their own private identity graph from all the IDs that they have access to, from all the data they have access to. In some cases, it's going to be hashed email addresses. In other cases, it's going to be zip codes or postal code. Whatever data they have on their audience, they can essentially use Optable to build a representation of that data. In some cases, they will purchase third-party data as well to actually enrich what they know about their audience. And as a result of that, they can collaborate with other parties, whether it's brands, whether it's retailers, or work that agencies do. And that ultimately creates a new workflow for insights, for activation, and really this represents part of the solutions that are required to rewire ad tech as we know it.
So let's talk about a collaboration piece, because that's where I want to get to with where we're touching about IDs, right? What does collaboration mean? What exactly do? They look at overlaps. They look at like unique audiences between one and the other. What exactly are the applications of that?
Yeah. So I mean, the main thing, of course, there is the intersection between audiences. And there's kind of two paths, right? So for any given brand, there may be known, identified customers. And so you can compare that data set with a data set that exists on the publisher side.
An exact match. I've got a name and address and an email, a name and address and an email. Those records are the same.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And so as a result of that, you can do a few things. I mean, it's actually more than a few things, but the main things I can talk about is insights, for example, right? So on the publisher side, they will know much more about audiences than anybody else, right? It's their own audience. They've been working on this data. And so they can show the brand who the brand's customers are as a function of that proprietary data in what is essentially a report. Right? So those are insights that can actually be leveraged for better media planning, for better activation. So that's one thing that we do. You can activate the overlap. Or, another myth, actually, since we're busting myths here, is that scale is a big issue. Right? And so in any given use case, of course, you're going to have one data set that is matched with another. There's going to be some scale in it. But what we do today, actually, is we can leverage that intersection to create expanded audiences. So we model audiences based on that proprietary data that exists on the publisher side to find more customers like those found in the overlap. And as we do that, and that is the second part of your question, of course, there is this identified customer set, right? And that is an obvious thing, as you mentioned. It could be email addresses and whatever personal identifiers there may be. But for unknown customers, there are solutions as well, right? And so that's where ID5 creates a lot of value for us, right? So any given brand can actually create an audience using ID5 IDs and compare those to the publisher's ID5 IDs, and that in turn also creates similar workflows. It goes to insights, activation, modeling, and so on.
And using those identifiers help you expand the opportunities to reach, right? Because you've got more touch points, you've got more chances to find that, well, that exact record doesn't match that exact record, but I know that it's the same ID5 ID.
Exactly.
So I can augment, I can increase the match rate, I can augment, and then when you look to model, then you model against ID5 IDs as well to people that you don't already know, but you can identify through a tokenized identifier.
That's right. That's exactly correct. And we look at this from the perspective of almost surface area, right? So there's only that many identified known customers or users. So this represents a new opportunity for us to basically do more and increase our surface area really when it comes to data collaboration and clean room matching.
And advertising is a scale game. So obviously increasing surface area means better, more efficient, better.
It
better
means
performance.
more precision, more performance, more scale, yeah, as you said in ad tech, those are important things.
Of course. All right. Well, thank you very much for helping us debunk this myth. Clean room and identity solution can effectively work together. They increase the performance, they increase the scalability of the outcome. And as Optable and ID5 have proven, it's been very successful. So
that's right.
Right. Thank you for
so
helping
friends,
us.
not foes.
Friends and not foes, definitely friends. Thank you for being with us, and thanks Vlad for helping us debunk this myth.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks everyone.